Welcome to the NeedleBugg. My name is Karen, and I'd like to welcome everyone to the video today. If you are new here, it's so good to have you. And if you are a returning subscriber, thanks so much for coming back to hang out with me. Well, today I'm going to do another stitch with me. And as you see, I'm working on Adam's stocking. Let's see, I am at this point 36.38%. So I did get a fair amount done this week. Let's see, let's take a gander how much it was. Oh, I can't do it by the week. But so far this month, I've done just a smidge over 4,000 stitches. So it's coming out to somewhere in the neighborhood of a little bit of 1,000 per week. So it's not too shabby for me. I don't know, for some reason I don't stitch. It's either not as fast or I get sidetracked more than I used to. At one time, it seems I stitched a whole lot more in a month than what I am now, but it is what it is, and we're happy with any progress is good progress. So what I am showing you here today is, first off, I set the view so that you can see the whole thing, except for this little bit that's cut off here, but basically you can see where I am at. So this is as much a progress report as it is a stitch with me, so you get to see the whole thing. The other reason I have zoomed so far out is I had some people request that at the beginning of a video, could I show the stand that I'm using, since I do have several. Will suffice it to say that several stands. So today I'm going to use my stand called the Frog from W Stands. Let me tell you, folks, I love this stand. Love, love, love it. On my stand, this is a 12-inch or a number 7 Nerge wooden hoop. I prefer the wooden hoops to the square plastic ones. I don't know. I just couldn't get the plastic ones to work for me. So I do prefer the wooden ones. And this is a round one, and it is a number 7. And I believe that's a 12-inch one. If not, it's pretty close. But the Frog. Oh my lands, I love this stand. Absolutely love it. Ooh, you didn't want to see my gray hair in there, did you? This is the accessory that holds the hoop. You can also change this out to use a Q-snap. However, I don't know, guys, I kind of like my hoops better than the Q-snap. This lever here is how you flip it. This rotates 360 degrees. Okay, so all you do is put this lever front. All you do is turn this completely to the back. You can do whatever it is you want to do or need to do from the back. You can bring it all the way around if you need to or want to, and bring it back to your position for stitching. And then you just take this handle and close it up tight, and you are back to a secure way to stitch your piece. If the lowest setting here is too low for you, or if that setting prevents you from flipping your work, then you can raise this up. And put it to the height that you want. So this is adjustable. You can raise it to where you want. I have it up just a little bit to make it more comfortable. And then I like it about like this to stitch. Okay, then I just tighten my clamp here and we are good to go. So that is the frog. It is from W Stands and I love it. And I love it especially if you're taking it to whether it's a day stitch or a retreat or away from home where you need a stand or you want to stand. It's great for that because as you can see, it has a very low profile. Very low profile. So it doesn't take a lot of space. So if you take it to a retreat, you're not encroaching on your neighbor's stitching area. You're pretty much able to stay within your own, and it works just fine. So that's the frog, and that's the stand I am using today. So with that, let's zoom you in here so that we can do some stitching. Let's see how close we want to get you. Yeah, I wanted to record this, well, the end of last week, since about the middle of last week up until today, I have been totally fussing with this camera and being able to record a decent picture for you guys. I thought it was my phone, and I was messing with my phone settings. That wasn't helping. So I thought it was, I don't know what, I tried all kinds of stuff. Yes, people, technical difficulties. True to form. Are you surprised? No, you shouldn't be because we all know how that goes here. So I fussed with it. I tried different apps to connect my phone to my computer, and well, that just wasn't working. The picture this all would look blurry. Okay, so that you really didn't see that they were X's. It was just really, really blurry. So that didn't suit me. And the other thing that happened is when I put my hand here that I was stitching, this would blur in and out. It would get closer, then go further away and closer and further away. And it would get even more blurry than it was. And it was like, oh man, I cannot post a video like that. That just is not, in my book, acceptable. I'd like to think that I give you a bit better video where that's did I stitch? I'm stitching white and it's so hard to tell if I actually stitched a stitch or if I missed it. Yeah, I don't like to give you a picture of stitching that is not up to par. So I continued to fuss and fuss and fuss more, and it just I was basically giving up. Until I thought, okay, today's the day. Here we go. Today's the day to give it one more try. So I started up the computer. I opened up my software that I use to record, which I use Prism Live. And it said, oh, we see that there's an update available for you. Oh, awesome. Let's update. Maybe that will take care of my camera problems. And for my camera, I just use my iPhone. I mean, my iPhone is up here above me. And if I do this, you see my head. And you don't want to see all those gray hair. Let me mark these off. So, okay, maybe that will fix what's going on here. So I updated my program. Oh, phooey. Okay, I missed a row, which was wonderful. Only took a few minutes. I missed a row here. And hooked up my camera. Connected it to my software I use an app called IV Cam, which is really kind of nice. I mean, I just open up the app on my computer and open up the app on my phone and connect it with a USB, and it just connects itself. I have it set that as soon as the app detects the other end, it will automatically connect. So it connected, and I went, whoa, that picture looks pretty good compared to what I had. So, okay, let's dial it in and see what it looks like when we get up closer. So I did, and went, whoa, we might be on a roll here. So that, in essence, because you don't see any moving in and out, it's not blurring when I move my hand across. So I do believe everything is now set the way it should be. Sorry, I need to scooch in here a little closer, and my chair doesn't want to move real easily. There we go. Yeah, it seems to be back to what it was before it went bad. You know, and it's very frustrating, extremely frustrating, when you have everything set and everything's working just fine, and you're happy with it, and you're able to produce a decent video. You know, people can see your stitching. And I'm sorry, I'm doing white, and as soon as this thread is all, I will switch to another color. Yeah, people can see what you're doing and try and follow along or whatever, and then the next thing you know, an update comes along and things get messed up. Things get messed up. And what do you do but try and fiddle with it to finagle it back to something that's going to work again, because the settings that you had that worked are now all befuddled and they're not working. So it gets very, very frustrating. And I know Gemma was talking about it on her video, that she was having trouble. So it was kind of, not that I wished her to have trouble, but it was kind of nice to know that it wasn't just me. You know, that there is something wrong somewhere else, that it isn't just my lack of computer skills. I mean, yes, I can manage my way around pretty decently, but there's a lot that I don't know. And then I try what I can or what I feel comfortable trying, but there's also that little voice in the back of your head going, oh my God, I don't know if I can do that, or I don't know if I should do that, or what if I mess it up? So you get a little reluctant to try some things for fear that you're going to mess it up, because some things that you do can't be undone. So, yeah. So I was very glad to see that this, for all intents and purposes, fixed itself. Thank the good Lord. Because if I couldn't have gotten a decent picture again, I don't know that I would have made too many more videos, or at least I wouldn't have made Stitch with Me's, because, yeah, you want to be able to see what's being stitched. So let me end this thread and go to a color that you can actually see. And all I'm doing anymore to end threads is go a little bit away, do a little bit of a tacking stitch. There's my scissors. Pull the thread to the front and cut it off. You know, I'm not real worried about it because, like I said, okay, maybe that was in one of the bloopers, but I had said before, this is going to get, oops, put you over here. This is going to get some iron-on Pellin on the backing, so I'm not worried about things coming undone. Just not worried about it. So, yeah. I am leaving some tails. And not working as much as maybe what I would on another piece. But it's okay. It is just, oh, I don't want to do that color. That's too light too. Let's find something a little darker. 3865 is not really any different than the white or the B5200. So where else can we go? I might have to, let's go over here. Let's go over here and do these guys. 3838. Yeah, that's a blue. Yeah, I'll tell you what, when this is done, I don't think I want to look at blue for a while. I just don't think blue is going to be in my foreseeable future, because I'm really getting tired of blue. And really, for right now, this is basically the only thing that I'm working on. I've not really stitched on anything. Whoops. I'm not really stitched on anything else. I did a little bit of pandemic. I stitch on that. I was very lax at the one thread a day. Oh, you can't see what I'm stitching. Let me move this stocking out of the way. There, put it up there. I had started the do one strand of floss a day with Nicola and her group. And, well, I was a delinquent person. But since I'm really getting tired of stitching blue, I do take that in the living room with me at night, and I have gone back to trying to put one strand a day in. And I could kick myself because I keep telling myself, Karen, if you would have done that, you could really be almost finished by now. Now, did I move that, or did the camera do a jump? I hope this isn't a sign of something I'm not going to like. It might have been. I keep bumping a cord. Oh, that's for the brio. Let's go right across here. Yeah, well, there were some days that I didn't get as much stitching done as I would have liked, but I'm still on track to finish this sometime in October. So that will give me plenty of time to make it into a stocking and have it ready. I'd like to be able to give this to Adam by Thanksgiving so that they can hang it with the other three. and have it for Christmas this year. That's my goal. That's the plan. And as far as method, well, what can I tell you, folks? You never know what method I'm going to be using to stitch. You just never know. I really have to be in the mood to do parking. That's like, for as nice as it is, it gives a wonderful appearance. Your stitches look fabulous. Pardon me. I think the disadvantages at this point for me outweigh the advantages. You know, I'm not even going to say if you stitch park, if you do parking and you stitch on the diagonal, that you don't get column lines, because that is not necessarily true. You can still get column lines stitching on the diagonal, because column lines are more an issue with the tension of your stitches as opposed to the direction that they're stitched. Now, direction also plays a part. But the tension plays the biggest part. I mean, if you're really a yankum stitcher, where you really yank that thread, you're probably going to get lines no matter what method you use, if there is blunt edges. Because your tension is, well, pretty tight. In fact, the first thing that popped in my head when I said if you are a tight stitcher is when I was teaching Emmy how to crochet, or trying to teach Emmy how to crochet. And she said, Nana, I watched a YouTube, I watched a YouTube video, and they said, when you crochet and you go through that loop, you stab it. And of course she had to go, you stab it. And then you strangle it. And then you rip its guts out and throw it away. I thought, oh, Emmy. So if you're a stitcher that stitches that tight attention, you're probably going to get lines of some sort when you stitch, because they are definitely an issue of tension. But at any rate, my method just seems to change all the time. And in all honesty, what did I get here? Do I have a knot? Let me pull this through this way once and see for sure. Hold on. Oh, there's something back there I gotta look. Oh, look at that puppy. Well, let's see if we can rectify that by doing a little it's up here. Sometimes I can pull it through. If I can figure out which stitch it goes to. Oh, it's here. You know what? We're going to let it go. And we will deal with that at a later date. But that happens. And sometimes you can I have in the past done this. I've gone down to the back and then I've flipped over. Just lost my thing. And oh, that is closer to where I was than I thought. What I will do later, I'm going to just let it go. What I will do later is make a loop, thread a needle without like you're going to do a loop start. Go under some stitches. Go under some stitches, pull that tail through the loop and pull that under some stitches. So essentially, I'm just going to work that end in as you would if it was a single end and you were ending a thread. And then that will take care of it. When I finish this thread and I'm going to start a new one, we'll flip over and do that. And you can see what I do. Because sometimes it's just, rather than try and frog to get that length out, it's just easier to try and manage it so that you just don't have that big loop hanging in the back. There's always a way. There's always a way, or something. Here we go. Something that you can do to try and fix. So let's see, what else do I have to talk about? Not too much has happened. Pretty much same old, same old. Had a little bit of a scare last evening. what the world? There's flames coming out of the oven. Well, not actually coming out, but Glenn had the door part way opened and you could see flames, and it was like something starting on fire. And he's fussing. I mean, we have a slide-in stove, and the only thing that has knobs is the burners, but it's a glass top. But he's turning the knobs. No, don't turn the knobs. And finally hit the cancel button to turn the oven off, and kind of let everything calm down. And here the element, that bottom element in the bottom of your oven, is what was on fire. And then it completely broke. So we are now at the stage of the dilemma of, now let's see, the stove is pushing. If it isn't, it's pushing 30 years old. Because we bought it when we remodeled kitchen. And we remodeled the kitchen I'm trying to remember what year. I have to think of where somewhere in the neighborhood of 1995. Somewhere, give or take, but in that general area. Because it was not too long after my mother passed away that we did the remodel. So we bought our kitchen appliances when we remodeled the kitchen. So they are 95, 2005, 2015, 2000, oh well, 30 years old. So we have a guy that does repairs. And actually we were initially went there to just purchase a new stove. And when we said why we were purchasing a new stove, he says, oh, that happens all the time. That can be replaced. Oh, okay, well then we'll do that instead. And set up a date and time for them to come and replace that element. Okay. And then he said, all I need is the model number of your stove. It's a KitchenAid. So we get home. He told us where to find the model number, and Glenn got the number and called him back and said, this is the model number. And the guy said, oh my lands. The guy said, oh, well, they don't make that anymore. They don't make that. They don't make elements for that anymore. Okay. So, as a result, we will probably, he's going to try and find an element, a replacement, like a substitution, just like if you were going from DMC to Anchor, and what is the equivalent? The same kind of thing. A KitchenAid, this element, what else? What's out there that's an equivalent to that? Yeah, I thought to myself, yeah, good luck with that. Um, I don't hold too much hope in that. I mean, he may surprise me, and that would be fine. But I'm not going to hold my breath where that's concerned. So we could very well end up purchasing a new stove, which, you know what? It is what it is. If that's what we have to do, that's what we have to do. I said, when it rains, it pours. We've had several major expenses come our way in the last month or so. And, it just is what it is. And we deal. Because what else are you going to do? I got to mark my stuff off here. Anyway, what was I talking about before I got sidetracked into that? I need a little bit of a beverage here. But method, if I don't get lost, I'm really kind of pretty much leaning toward the pick an area, color complete in that area. Because I can do more stitches and I can get a lot more done by doing that. Like I was saying, parking here of late is just kind of getting on my last nerve. It has a lot of advantages, but it also has some disadvantages that, for me, I'd rather not deal with. Or they are disadvantages for me. Like, I don't like all those extra threads hanging down, just are making me crazy. So this way, at least I can do an area of color. I was going to try and do like a typewriter thing. No. Okay, what happened here? You stinker, you got a knot. Then I was going to try Royal Rose, but again, I would have had to park my threads. Then I thought, okay, let's try going down a column, one color at a time. Eh, didn't quite, that didn't quite, didn't quite do it for me either. So as long as I stay within a relatively small area, like just maybe 4 blocks, and I try and stay within, now here I've been jumping a little bit, but if I keep it like, okay, here's my block, and I stitch all of this color in that block, then move to this block and stitch it all in this block, then stitch it all in this block, or move around by block and stitch that color. That seems to be working for me at this point in time. We shall see. We shall see. But that's what I have been doing today. Let me show you how I'm going to get rid of that thread. Okay, so let's flip this around. I have to find where it was now. Maybe I already caught it in my, I did. I already caught it in my other stitches. Yeah, look at my messy back. Although it's not too bad. But it does look like I already caught it. So that is one thing that, oops, here we go. Here is the remnants of it. But what I would have done had I not caught it there was thread my needle like I'm doing a loop start. Work under some stitches. Put that loop through the loop for the loop start and pull it under those stitches, and then anything left, just snip it off because it would be fine. So I wish I should have done it right away, and I didn't. So shame on me. But I don't think I have anything else today. I ran out of things to talk about. But if you have suggestions or things that you want to know or hear about, just put it in the comments and we'll see what we can do. I think I would like to, if my camera continues to cooperate, I would like to do some Stitch With Me's, and I would probably do them just to some music because they don't always have enough things to talk. Okay, so I'll try and put some up that may just be music. We'll see how that goes and how they are received. So let me know your thoughts. And I think we will call it a day today. I hope you all have a wonderful weekend. Here in Pennsylvania, we're supposed to get some rain tomorrow, but I don't think it's going to be all that much. But it's always a good day to stitch, whether it rains or not. So enjoy your weekend. Get some good stitching time in. And I will see you the next time. Happy stitching and bye-bye for now.